From Marisa Merico, who turned informant, to Maria Licciardi, who shattered Camorra code, to Renee Graziano, whose family ties almost ended her life, here are Mafia bosses' daughters who took a dark turn. We'll begin with the daughter of the bull, Karen Gravano. Growing up as the daughter of Salvatore Sammy the Bull Gravano wasn't exactly a normal childhood. Karen Gravano was born in 1972 in Staten Island, New York. Her father was the underboss who would later confess to 19 murders, but to young Karen, he was simply daddy. The perks of being a mobster's daughter were undeniable. The family always got the best tables at restaurants, and bills were mysteriously complimentary. At her Sweet 16 party, none other than her uncle, John Gotti, gifted her $1,000 in cash, instantly boosting her popularity at school, though it also earned her the label Mafia Princess, which she found offensive. When Karen graduated high school, her father bought her a flower shop. The business thrived overnight, thanks to a steady stream of gangster clientele who knew better than to take their floral needs elsewhere. But this seemingly charmed life was built on a foundation of violence and deception that would eventually crumble. The family's world shattered in 1991 when Karen was just 19. Her father made the decision to cooperate with the FBI, testifying against John Gotti and dismantling entire crime syndicates in exchange for leniency. But Karen's troubles weren't over. In 2000, she pleaded guilty to her involvement in an Arizona ecstasy ring, using drug money to fund a day spa. She received probation, but the incident marked her official entry into the criminal world her father had tried to shield her from, or perhaps had inadvertently prepared her for. By 2012, Karen had reinvented herself as a reality television star on VH1's Mob Wives, appearing in all 6 seasons. She also authored the New York Times bestseller, Mob Daughter the Mafia, Sammy the Bull Gravano, and Me, reflecting on the mob perks and the devastating fallout of her father's choices. As of 2025, she continues to share her story through various media platforms, discussing how her daughter has had to visit her grandfather in prison and the psychological toll of growing up in a mafia family. Moving on to the daughter of a high-ranking Ndrangheta boss and granddaughter of Grandma Heroin, Marisa Merico. In 1970, her English mother, Pat, worked as an Eura pair in Milan. There, Pat met Emilio Di Giovine, and within months, Marisa was born into one of Italy's most powerful crime families. Her grandmother, Maria Serino, would become infamous as Grandma Heroin, directing a global drug empire despite being unable to read or write. When Marisa was 9, her mother fled back to England, desperately trying to escape the criminal life. But every summer, young Marisa would return to Italy to visit her grandmother, and these visits became her undoing. The contrast between her ordinary life in England and the glamorous, dangerous world of her Italian family created an irresistible pull.
My father by then was on the run for murder. He ran off he was a fugitive in America. So I didn't see him from the age of 9 till I was 13. So of course, he then got arrested in America, extradited to Italy, convicted of manslaughter. People ask me, you know, what age did I realise there's something going on? And that was the age 13.
At 17, Marisa moved back to Milan full-time, joining her family's operations as a courier for £500,000 packages. She married Bruno Merico, one of her father's henchmen, and had a daughter named Laura. Her responsibilities grew to include money laundering, drug smuggling, and gun running across continents. By 23, living back in England, she had purchased a designer-furnished home with $2 million in illicit funds.
I think the most serious is I knew someone was going to get killed and I couldn't stop it. And that's the most thing that carried the heaviest weight on my shoulders because of that. Because it was somebody that I knew, and I knew his wife and his children.
A 1993 Dawn raid led to Marisa's money laundering conviction. She served nearly 4 years in HMP Durham's H-Wing. Released in 1997, she made the dramatic decision to turn informant, aiding in the arrests of 180 clan members, including her grandmother. This next daughter of a mafia boss was nicknamed Little Doll for her striking beauty, Pupetta Maresca. She was born on January 19, 1935 in Castellammare di Stabia, near Naples. Her father, Alberto Maresca, was a Camorra smuggler from the Lightning Knives family, known for their cigarette smuggling operations. Known for her striking beauty, she won the title of Miss Rovigliano at 19. Pupetta seemed destined for a glamorous life. In 1955, she married Camorra boss Pasquale Simonetti, but their happiness was short-lived. That same year, while Pupetta was pregnant, rival Antonio Esposito murdered her husband. husband. What happened next would make Pupetta a legend in the Italian underworld. Pupetta walked into a Naples market and shot Esposito 29 times, claiming self-defense but convicted of premeditated murder. She served 13 years in prison, giving birth to her son Pasqualino behind bars. In 1965, President Giuseppe Saragat pardoned her, but her son's fate would prove tragic. He vanished in 1974, likely killed by rival Enrico Maisto on orders from Raffaele Cutolo's Nuova Camorra Organizzata. After her release, Pupetta partnered with boss Umberto Amaturo in drug trafficking from South America, extortion, and arms dealing, amassing enough wealth for a Naples villa and a Ferrari. In 1982, she was arrested for ordering Maisto's murder, acquitted due to lack of evidence, but served 4 years for Camorra association. That same year, Pupetta publicly defied Raffaele Cutolo, declaring war on his NCO, which elevated her to Madrina, godmother status. She even acted in films, including La Legge della Camorra in 1973 and a 1982 biopic about her life. She had twins with Amaturo in 1974, but eventually split from him when he refused to avenge Pasqualino's death. Pupetta died on December 29, 2021, at age 86. Anti-Mafia prosecutor Paolo Mancuso noted that she understood her power, even as she lived what she described as a double identity based on deception and lies. Her life sparked ongoing debates about Mafia women's power and agency, making her one of the most controversial and fascinating figures in Italian organized crime history. Away from Rita, here's the daughter who many said acted like a real man. Maria Angela di Trapani. She was born around 1968 in Sicily and emerged as a pivotal figure in Cosa Nostra through her marriage to Salvatore Salvino Madonia, a high-ranking member of the Resutana family, serving a life sentence for the 1991 murder of anti-mafia businessman Libero Grassi. Her father was a fugitive mobster himself, embedding her deeply in mafia culture from birth. Despite Madonia's imprisonment under Italy's harsh 41 bis regime, which isolates top bosses, Di Trapani conceived a child with him in 2000. Initially serving as a lowly messenger, relaying her husband's orders to the Madonia clan, she spent 7 years in prison for mafia association prior to 2015. Released 2 years before her 2017 arrest, Di Trapani rapidly ascended to a decisive role, acting as de facto boss. She liaised with other clans to relaunch Cosa Nostra following the 2017 death of boss of bosses Toto Riina, the notorious leader infamous for dissolving a 13-year-old boy in acid to silence his father. Wiretaps captured clan members calling her the mistress of the house, with informants noting she acts like a real man. High praise in the patriarchal world of Sicilian organized crime. Her crimes included extortion, forcing businesses to pay pizzo protection money, handling stolen goods, vandalism, and ensuring financial support for imprisoned mobsters. Families. Arrested in a December 2017 Palermo sting involving over 200 officers, helicopters, and sniffer dogs, along with 24 others, she faced charges of mafia membership and related offenses. Prosecutor Salvo De Luca emphasized her immediate return to Cosa Nostra upon release, underscoring the syndicate's resilience despite decades of anti-mafia crackdowns. As of 2025, no public updates confirm her release or trial finality, suggesting ongoing imprisonment or a deliberately low profile. This next mafia daughter had the leadership of the clan passed down to her, and she made sure she used it well. Anna De Luca Bossa. This sister of De Luca Bossa clan founder Antonio Osico De Luca Bossa married Ciro Minichini, a Ponticelli-based criminal. Together they had a son, Antonio Minichini, who was killed in 2013 during a bloody war with the rival D'Amico clan, one of many casualties in Naples' violent underworld. The De Luca Bossa clan, established in the 1990s in Naples' eastern suburbs of Ponticelli and Cercola, specializes in racketeering, extortion, drug trafficking, and murder. The clan allied with groups like the Secondigliano Alliance, while feuding with the Mozzarella and D'Amico clans, creating a landscape of constantly shifting allegiances and brutal retribution. After Antonio's arrest, leadership passed to their mother, Teresa De Luca Bossa, arrested in 2010, then to Anna, and later to Antonio's sons Umberto, who is the current alleged leader, and Emanuele. Anna's role escalated significantly in the 2010s amid these territorial conflicts as the clan fought to maintain control of their criminal criminal enterprises while male leaders cycled in and out of prison. By 2019, the clan regained dominance through strategic mergers, including with the Minicini Group. In September 2019, Anna was accused and convicted of involvement in the murders of Rafael Caparulo, a rival criminal group leader, and innocent bystander Ciro Colonna, receiving a life sentence. These killings were part of the clan's efforts to eliminate rivals in Ponticelli, where violence had reached epidemic levels. Academic studies highlight Anna's masculine demeanor and language, reinforcing perceptions of Camorra women as unconventional leaders who deploy violence to maintain control. As the first woman reportedly placed under the 41B's regime, according to some sources, her case exemplifies the evolving role of women in organized crime, though her actions remained fundamentally tied to family loyalty rather than personal ambition. As of 2025, Anna continues serving her life sentence with no updates indicating appeals or releases. Her story intersects with broader Camorra dynamics, including a 2024 maxi trial that sentenced 540 years to 55 defendants in eastern Naples clans, demonstrating the ongoing battle between law enforcement and organized crime in southern Italy. Moving on to someone who broke the Camorra code. Maria Licciardi. She was born on March 24, 1951, in Naples' Secondigliano district, daughter of a Camorra guapo, or local boss. Her brother Gennaro the Monkey Licciardi was a clan boss until his 1994 death from blood poisoning in prison, leaving a power vacuum that Maria would eventually fill in ways that shocked even hardened criminals. Assuming leadership in the late 1990s after the arrests of her brothers and husband Vincenzo, Maria founded the Secondigliano Alliance, uniting multiple clans. But her most controversial decision was expanding into breaking a long-standing Camorra taboo against exploiting local women for work. This move into prostitution, along with drug smuggling from South America, cigarette contraband, and extortion, made her both wealthy and notorious. Her decisions sparked the devastating 2004-2005 Scampia feud, which caused over 120 deaths. The conflict began after a heroin batch killed 11 people, leading to alliance fractures and murders that Maria allegedly ordered. The bloodshed transformed Naples' neighborhoods into war zones, with bodies regularly discovered in the streets. Arrested in 2001 as one of Italy's top 30 fugitives while driving near Naples, Maria served nearly 8 years for Mafia-connected crimes and was released in 2009. Her freedom was short-lived. On August 7, 2021, she was rearrested at Rome's Campino airport en route to Spain, checking luggage for her daughter, on charges of Mafia affiliation, extortion, receiving illicit funds, and auction disruption. In March 2023, Maria was sentenced to nearly 13 years in prison, and she remains incarcerated as of 2025. Prosecutors hailed her as a true madrina, making decisions alongside male bosses, a remarkable achievement in the male-dominated world of Italian organized crime. Her life inspired media representations like Amazon's Bang Bang Baby and sparked TikTok trends romanticizing mob wives, which starkly contrast the harsh realities of violence and abuse within mafias. Maria's story exemplifies the controversial evolution of women's roles in organized crime. She simultaneously broke barriers and perpetuated cycles of exploitation and violence. Next up, the Queen of Forcella, Erminia Giuliano. Erminia Celeste Giuliano was born on December 31, 1955, in Naples' Forcella district, one of 11 children of Pio Vittorio Giuliano, founder of the powerful Giuliano clan. The clan dominated Forcella from the mid-1970s under her brother Luigi O. Re, the King, Giuliano, who led until his 2000 arrest and subsequent 2002 decision to become an informant. With brothers Luigi, Guglielmo, Carmine, and Raffaele imprisoned, Erminia assumed leadership in early 2000 as the remaining male heir was deemed incompetent. Ranked among Italy's 30 most dangerous criminals, she oversaw counterfeiting, drug trafficking, and extortion, maintaining the clan's luxurious lifestyle that in the 1980s included ties to soccer legend Diego Maradona, who frequented Camorra circles during his time with Napoli. Arrested on December 23, 2000, after 10 months as a fugitive, Erminia was found hiding in a cupboard during a midnight raid. Naples police chief Carlo Gualdi praised her as a true leader with godfather-like qualities, acknowledging acknowledging her rare ability to command respect in a male-dominated criminal hierarchy. The press nicknamed her Queen of the Clan, cementing her reputation as one of Italy's most formidable female criminals. Released after serving her sentence, Erminia now resides in Formia, Lazio. In 2019, Italian authorities seized her assets over patrimonial issues, targeting wealth accumulated through decades of criminal activity. As of 2025, the Giuliano clan is reduced to a small faction, with no active role reported for Erminia. Her ascent reflects the 2000-2014 period, when Camorra women increasingly assumed leadership roles amid mass arrests of male bosses, according to academic studies. Erminia's story demonstrates how necessity, rather than ambition, often drove women into positions of power within Italian organized crime, though once in those positions, they proved every bit as capable and ruthless as their male counterparts. This next woman carried the family torch. Katia Bidognetti. Born around 1982, Katia Bidognetti is the elder daughter of Francesco Cicciotto e Mezzanotte Bidognetti, a Casalesi clan boss serving life for murder and toxic waste poisoning in Campania. The Casalesi, part of the broader Camorra network, dominate the Caserta region with extortion, illegal waste dumping, and infiltration of public contracts. Following her father's imprisonment, Katia facilitated clan operations by transmitting directives, paying clan salaries, and providing financial and legal aid to jailed members' families. These seemingly administrative tasks were crucial to maintaining clan cohesion and loyalty, ensuring that imprisoned members' families remained provided for and thus preventing defections or cooperation with authorities. On February 2, 2017, Katia was arrested in a major raid that dismantled a mafia ring and led to 31 arrests. She faced charges of mafia association and extortion against entrepreneurs who refused to pay protection money. Wiretaps captured her escalating extortions immediately after prison visits to her father, suggesting he continued directing operations from behind bars through his daughter. Jailed pending trial, Katia was ultimately sentenced to 9 years in a 2025 appeal for recruiting new Casalesi members, along with a $15,170 fine. Intercepts revealed her son intervening in family disputes, demonstrating how criminal culture passes to the next generation. As of 2025, she likely continues serving her sentence amid ongoing clan restoration attempts, including 37 arrests in 2022. Her case exemplifies how women in mafia families often comprise about 1/3 of arrests, typically in support roles that prove essential to operational continuity. While Katia may not have personally ordered murders or orchestrated major crimes, her administrative and financial functions kept the Casalesi clan functioning during a period of intense law enforcement pressure. Moving on to her very own sister, Teresa Bidognetti. Born around 1990, Teresa Bidognetti is the younger sister of Katia and daughter of Francesco Bidognetti. She shared similar roles in the Casalesi clan, handling financial support for jailed members, providing legal aid, and relaying directives from imprisoned bosses. Arrested in the same February 2017 raid as her sister, along with sister-in-law Orietta Verso, Teresa was placed under house arrest due to pregnancy. Charged with mafia association and extortion, she received a sentence in the 2025 appeal, though specific terms weren't detailed publicly, grouped with other family convictions. Intercepts showed Teresa involved in family arguments, with relatives intervening, illustrating the complex internal dynamics of mafia families. These recordings revealed a woman trapped between familial duty and personal agency, expected to serve the clan while navigating its patriarchal power structures. In 2025, her father Francesco's appeals court upheld an 18-month sentence for threats against writer Roberto Saviano, tying into the clan's ongoing intimidation tactics. Saviano, author of Gomorrah, has lived under police protection for years due to Camorra death threats stemming from his exposés of their criminal activities. As of 2025, Teresa is likely imprisoned or under restrictions, with no new trials reported. Her case parallels academic studies on women's codes of commitment in mafias, blending loyalty with resistance, women who serve their families while simultaneously chafing against the restrictions placed upon them by the same patriarchal system they uphold. Both Bidognetti sisters' stories underscore how family loyalty, rather than criminal ambition, often drives women's participation in organized crime, and how pregnancy and motherhood are sometimes weaponized as both vulnerability and shield within the criminal justice system. Next up is a woman who was nearly broken by the environment of crime in which she found herself. Renee Graziano. She was born in 1969 in Staten Island, daughter of Anthony T.G. Graziano, consigliere of the Bonanno crime family. Unlike the Italian women in our previous stories, Renee's path diverged significantly. She never actively participated in organized crime, but the Mafia lifestyle profoundly shaped her life and nearly destroyed her. Renee married Hector Jr. Pagan Jr., a mob associate who had just completed 4 years for gun trafficking. They married on May 15, 1993, despite her father's disapproval. The abuse started immediately: physical, emotional, and psychological torment that would span years.
He was just abusive in every way, shape, and form. And looking back at it now, he's like, nobody's gonna want to marry you. Nobody asked you already. And I was 23. He was like, look at you. You're fat. You're ugly. You're unattractive. So he reinforced what those girls told me in 3rd grade. And because my parents didn't build me up with that confidence, and I don't mean to blame them, but I have to, that's a blame area, you know what I mean? And you have to feed your children all the positive things about them on an everyday basis.
The domestic violence escalated over the years, with Renee suffering black eyes and broken bones. She turned to drugs, first Vicodin, then OxyContin, 8 80 mg pills daily, and 8 milligrams of Xanax to numb the pain of her abusive marriage and complicated relationship with her father. The ultimate betrayal came in 2012. Her ex-husband had been cooperating with the DEA since 2006, wearing wires and watches he gave Renee, including one Rolex she particularly treasured. His testimony led to her father's arrest and conviction, sending Anthony Graziano back to prison for crimes including racketeering and extortion. Hector received an 11-year sentence for murder and other crimes, though he violated his cooperation deal by initially concealing the murder. Released around 2022, he was arrested again for arson and criminal mischief in 2024. Renee's addiction spiraled, leading to multiple stints in treatment starting in 2010. In September 2023, she overdosed on what she thought was cocaine, but was actually fentanyl, nearly dying and spending 8 days in the hospital learning to walk again. On January 4, 2022, she was arrested for impaired driving after a car crash, admitting to taking Adderall but denying drug or alcohol involvement beyond the prescription. This remains her only personal arrest. Unlike her father, ex-husband, and even her son, who faced unemployment fraud charges in 2021, Renee herself never participated in organized crime. She gained fame through VH1's Mob Wives, appearing in all 6 seasons and sharing her experiences of mob life, domestic violence, and addiction. Her father, Anthony, passed away in 2019, and Renee describes the grief as overwhelming, contributing to her continued struggles with sobriety. Up next is the daughter of a mafia boss who provided logistical support for the organization's global operations, Gioele Figliomeni. She comes from Siderno, Calabria, the daughter of Alessandro Figliomeni, a mob-linked mayor who was arrested in 2010 and received a 12-year sentence for corruption and mafia association. The Figliomeni family is one of 4 powerful families in the Siderno group, which controls an estimated 40% of global cocaine trafficking. In late 2008, Gioele's affair with a married relative of Giuseppe U. Mastru, Camiso, nearly sparked an interfamily conflict. Wiretaps captured heated debates about family honor, but ultimately, business interests prevailed, and the relationship actually strengthened alliances between the families. Following her father's arrest, Gioele moved to Abidjan, Ivory Coast, in April 2011, claiming she wanted independent validation after the family earthquake. Fluent in English and French, with a Milan University education, she worked as a consultant, ostensibly linking Calabria with the West African nation of Doropo. In February 2014, during the Ape Green drug investigation, Gioele assisted Claudio Spataro, Umastru's lieutenant, during his visit to Abidjan. She took 3 days off from her work to guide him through the city, overcoming language barriers. Wiretaps revealed her crucial role. "If it wasn't for her, we would be ruined," one clan member noted. Investigators linked this visit to establishing cocaine routes from Latin America through Abidjan to Antwerp, Belgium. In coded conversations, they discussed sand cleaning machines and shipping containers. An October 2015 seizure of 1 kilogram of cocaine in Siderno, part of a much larger shipment, traced back to this African route. From February 2014 to June 2017, Gioele worked as operations manager at an IT firm in Abidjan, a position that aligned perfectly with the clan's logistics needs. She was fired amid the inquiries, and though no conviction followed, the case exemplifies how Ndrangheta women provide crucial logistical support in the organization's global operations. Gioele initially offered to help anti-mafia authorities but stopped responding to their inquiries, and her current whereabouts remain unclear. Up next is the eldest daughter of Grandma Heroin, Rita Di Giovine. Her family moved from Cardeto, Calabria to Milan in 1963, where Maria, cousin of boss Paolo Serrano, married tobacco smuggler Rosario Di Giovine. Together they had 12 children, and their operations evolved from cigarettes to narcotics and weapons in the 1970s, controlling Milan's Piazza Prealpi territory. Rita was pulled from school at age 12 and put to work for the family business. Her duties included unpacking cocaine from car panels, stuffing heroin into bottles, transporting cash and drugs, and bribing police officers. But the family business came with a horrific cost beyond the criminal activities. Rita was raped by her father from ages 9 to 19, resulting in pregnancy. She was also harassed by her brothers, while her mother, Maria, was regularly beaten by Rosario. Yet through it all, Rita continued to sustain the family's criminal operations. Her son began dealing heroin at 15 and became addicted. A sister also fell victim to drugs. This prompted Maria to make a pilgrimage, vowing to stop dealing heroin, though the family's involvement in other narcotics continued. Meanwhile, Rita's brothers Antonio and Emilio expanded into stolen cars and international trade, smuggling hashish from Morocco and cocaine from Colombia. In March 1993, Rita was arrested in Verona with 1,000 ecstasy tablets. Exhausted, indebted, and addicted to amphetamines herself, she made a life-changing decision. She turned pentito, state witness, testifying against her entire family. Her cooperation led to Operations Belgio, 1993 to 1995, which dismantled the clan and resulted in 180 arrests. She exposed Maria as the true boss of the organization, embodying female power through charisma and bloodline, despite the 'Ndrangheta's male-dominated structure that excluded women from formal membership. Academic analyses highlight how Rita deviated from conservative 'Ndrangheta norms. She had multiple partners and 3 children by different fathers, while simultaneously playing a frontline role in a criminal organization that claimed to uphold traditional values. Her testimony led to Maria receiving a life sentence, later converted to house arrest. Rita's brave decision to break Omerta, the Mafia's code of silence, came at tremendous personal cost, but it helped break generational cycles of abuse and criminality. The stories of these 12 women paint a complex picture of life in the Italian Mafia. What unites them is the inescapable pull of family loyalty, a value so deeply ingrained in Italian culture that it can override self-preservation, moral convictions, and even maternal instinct. If you enjoyed this video, click on the videos showing on your screen for more.